This is the Gotrax GX3, and it is a monster of an e-scooter. And hey there, it is Tuesday, October 1st. 1:45 p.m. is the time, and the temperature is about 21 degrees Celsius, and I'm here at Eglinton Park. And this is in midtown Toronto. And the folks at Gotrax have been kind enough to send me their GX3 e-scooter. And earlier this year, they sent me the GX2, which kind of knocked my socks off. And this one is a step up from that. So what I'll be doing in this video is I'll be giving an overview of the e-scooter and some of its stats and features. And then we'll be taking it for a ride, and on that ride I'll be doing a mix of city riding, and we'll do some off-roading, not much off-roading, but a little bit, and then I'll be taking it up a pretty steep hill to test it. So I'll put a timestamp down below for when that ride begins. But this currently retails for $23.99 Canadian, and I think the GX2 was $17.99. It features dual 1000 watt motors, and that compares to the 800 watt motors on the GX2. Under ideal conditions, it's got an advertised range of 64 kilometers, and it can hit a top speed of 60 kilometers per hour, which is kind of insane, and I will not be testing that. There's a 5-hour charge time, which is great, but it does require 2 chargers. There's one on either side here. It's got a dual hydraulic suspension, and what's really cool about this is you can adjust the tension on the suspension. You can make it rather soft or quite hard. I kind of like it right in the middle, how it came out of the factory. Definitely soaks up most of the bumps in the road. So up on the power controls here, we have a power button. You can take the gears up and down with these controls. There's a horn, which is pretty loud. You can adjust the mode here, and it looks like there's a hertz difference between my camera and the screen, but you can engage both motors or just one. And you have turn signals, so if I press the left one there, you can engage the turn signal, which is pretty cool. I haven't had that feature on a scooter before. The display is adjustable. It's very bright. You get your voltage. You'll have a power delivery meter as well, your speed and your distance traveled. I just reset that one. And it's currently in park. I think after you stop for about 15 seconds or so, it will slide into park mode. And then to get going, you can press up or down. There's a 0 start mode you can enable, but I prefer to leave it in kickstart. The throttle is excellent. It is super comfortable and obviously high quality. Same goes for the brakes. They are very smooth out of the box, no squeaking or anything like that. You've got these really nice grips. And to fold it, this thing here catches into there. And you've got to unscrew this thing. And this piece comes out, and then you can pull the pin here and it'll collapse back. And one of the downsides of this, and it's a pretty big downside if you ask me, is this thing weighs 86 pounds, which is about 10 pounds more than the GX2. All right, I'll just collapse it here, pull the pin, this comes down, and Oh, that is really heavy to lift one-handed and even two-handed. So I can see why this mechanism here is so beefy, because people probably aren't going to be collapsing it down and picking it up too often. But the headlight is quite adequate, and you can angle it down. And it's got these front lights, as well as one on the rear. Turn the headlights off. That loud horn again. And it's got a really nice, wide, comfortable deck. I think the max weight is around 330 pounds or so. And I've only taken it out a few times, but I can tell you that it is quite excellent off-road. And something I love is these 11-inch tires are self-healing. If you get a flat on something like this, you're going to kind of be SOL in a lot of situations, as it's so heavy. So that's really neat that flats will be minimized. It flies up hills, as you'll see later. But I think the biggest con for this one is probably the weight, although that's kind of par for the course with this grade of scooter. And also how ridiculously fast it can go. You got to be extra careful and safe on these bad boys. Now, while I was recording this, a cop has pulled in to the parking lot. So I think what I'll do is we'll just walk it out of the park, and I'll strap my cameras on and we'll take it for that spin. Okay, so I've got Strava running just to record some details of this one. Powered on. Speed assist mode 1. We are just in single motor mode. Just climbing out of the park here. There's someone else on an e-scooter. So we're gonna head straight to Yonge Street. What's really noticeable about this thing is, even though I'm on the lowest power assist mode, on the lowest gear, it takes off very effortlessly. And I'm going about 25 kilometers per hour. Generally, I don't like to go much over 30 on these things. Just handled that speed bump with ease. And again, full disclosure, Gotrax did send this to me, but there were no obligations as to me having to say anything positive about the scooter. I'm gonna trigger the lock button here. How's it going?
Went for a ride?
Hmm?
Go for a ride?
Yeah.
How fast is that going?
60.
60?
Yeah. It's insane. Too fast.
Too fast, eh? That's good.
No, you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you have bigger wheels than mine, and you have suspension.
And dual 1,000-watt motors.
Really?
Yeah. I forgot to take it out of park there. All right. Ride safe, man.
All right, you're going.
I'm in speed assist 2. Yeah, and this thing just flew up to over 40 kilometers effortlessly as we get hit by a few raindrops. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way. We're gonna go right here. Oh, I guess we're waiting for that to go green. So we're gonna go south down to Chaplin. Then I'm going to make my way over to the Beltline Trail. We'll do a little off-roading. And I will put a link to the scooter down in the description. You can also check out the GX2 and the GX1, and they've got a whole range of e-bikes and other scooters. And I've owned quite a few scooters now, and I would say the GX2 is probably my favorite one of the lot. And obviously I can't speak to the long-term reliability or durability of this particular scooter. There'll probably some others, or be some others doing long-term tests of this model on YouTube. But I can say it came out of the box pretty much ready to go. All I had to do was attach the handlebars. Everything was screwed in nice and tight. I went over everything just to make sure it was all tight. It's always a good idea with anything like this when it comes shipped, mostly pre-built. It was a very easy unboxing experience. The only real hurdle was the weight of it, doing it alone. But you get the manual, 2 chargers, and a few Allen wrenches. You can also password protect it, so you can require a 3-digit password every time you turn it on. And that's how I had my GX2. I didn't bother to set that up on this one, but if I left it anywhere for long, I would certainly be doing that. All right, I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna go into dual motor mode. I can easily keep up with this Range Rover if I want to. I don't want to though, so we're gonna drop back. I'm in Power Assist 2 using all 1000 watts. And apparently this thing has a boost mode, so you can kick it into an even higher gear. Do check your local regulations to see what you're allowed to safely ride at where you live. So this is Davisville Station right here on the right. I'm going to turn right here. Let's use that right turn signal. And again, once you go, oh, it seems to only last about 6 or 7 seconds. Just waiting for a break in traffic. There we go. And again, once you're parked for about 15 seconds or so, it slides itself into park mode as a safety feature. And I don't hate that. These brakes are nice and smooth. And for having big fat tires, this thing is very nimble. I would say it handles a little better than the GX2, just riding around these conditions. I do not feel like I'm piloting some kind of boat or a monster truck. And on my maiden voyage, I was able to get it to over 35 kilometers. And there was still 2 bars of battery left. So that, and I was pushing it pretty hard. So that 64 kilometers of range claim might not be too far off. Again, those claims are always under ideal circumstances, assuming you weigh nothing and you're riding on a perfectly flat surface with no resistance, but if you ride this in single power mode or single motor mode, you could definitely get a long way out of the battery. All right, let's take it off-road just for a little bit. Go on to the Beltline Trail. I'm gonna go pretty slow here. I don't want to whiz by anyone with their pets out. All right, now we can speed it up a bit. And I'm kind of shaking it left to right a little bit, or moving the steering wheel around, and it is holding its ground nicely. With the suspension and these wheels, I would gather this thing is very well suited to off-road use. It's not usually how I ride my bikes and scooters, but I have full confidence in this thing right now. That might change if the ground gets a little wet. All right, we want to keep going straight here. We'll go another block. And this will take us to Avenue Road. As a responsible dog owner. All right, now we can let it rip a little bit. I'm still in dual motor mode. Yeah, this thing just flies effortlessly. I'm not gonna push my luck. I'm sure the hardcore e-scooter riders out there are thinking, I'm a bit soft, but so be it. Safety first. I'm gonna make a left here on Avenue Road. So we're gonna go through Forest Hill a little bit on the right. And I'm just on half throttle. I'm going to take it down to single motor. Let's go right here. What street is this? Killarney. Oops, I didn't use my turn signal. Some monster homes in this area. I don't know if you heard the beeping of my turn signal, but it shut off when I completed my turn. That was pretty cool. That's Upper Canada College just up on the left. The street is Kilberry. So let's turn left here. I really like these turn signals. This should be standardized on e-bikes and e-scooters. I guess the placement and kind of lights they use would need to be standardized just so drivers and pedestrians know what to look for. I gotta say, the brake levers are positioned perfectly out of the box, as is the trigger or the throttle. Maybe I'll do a live stream on this thing. Any rattling you hear is coming from around the handlebars. I think one of those might actually be my watch. But we're gonna head over to Russell Hill Road. And then I'll come back up Poplar Plains. That's a very steep hill I once did on my single speed. So it's actually got 3 speed assist modes. I've been in 1 the whole time. I just jumped it up to 3 on single motor. This is maximum acceleration. Wow, we just hit 40 kilometers in the blink of an eye. Do it again. Yeah, I would definitely be leaving this on single motor mode. Oop. Signal left. Now we've hit Russell Hill Road. We're gonna get a nice downhill. Once I go south of St. Clair, which is just up ahead. Then going up Poplar Plains Road, I think we'll throw it into dual motor mode. We'll just see how effortlessly this thing flings itself up a pretty steep hill. There's 512 St. Clair streetcar. Currently using 5.7 volts. And we've gone about 5 kilometers so far. No issue stopping. I don't think these are regen brakes. And you do have to be careful when you have disc brakes on a scooter like this, that you don't whack them into a curb or anything like that. As you'll get probably a pretty gnarly disc rub you'll have to fix. All right, single motor assist level 2. A nice little downhill here, and then when we get to the bottom of this, we'll spin around and go up Poplar Plains. I'm just coasting right now. Now we're moving. Whoa, I did not realize how fast I was going there. We just hit 46. This thing does have cruise control. I can turn on and off. Right at the end of this parquet, you can pull a U-turn. Dual motor engaged. I think that means dual motors. There's two little symbols coming up. I'll put a text correction on the screen at some point if that's not the case. All right, dual motors, power assist 2, because 3 scares me. Let's see how well we can get up this hill here. This would bring my Segway 9bot Max to its knees. Oh man. We hit 30 without breaking a sweat. Even cars don't want to come to, or drivers don't want to come to a complete stop. Hey, what happened to stopping before the line? Going up here. I do get a little bit of wheel spin when I hit the throttle too hard. I'm trying to just feather it. Oh man, we are beasting up this hill. That's ridiculous. Okay, time to drop down to a sane power mode on level. Nice driving in bike lanes, no signal. I'm going to turn right at St. Clair here. This thing doesn't even flinch when you hit a speed bump. It takes it so smoothly and effortlessly. So I think what we'll do is we'll take this over to Yonge Street. And we'll try it in the bike lanes. I think that's the one area where I haven't really tried this thing on a busy street in the bike lanes on this ride. Pesky delivery trucks. Whoa, what is this car doing? Okay. Let's Probably an Uber or Lyft. It's definitely raining. I was gonna live stream today, but maybe I'll save that for tomorrow. What's this beer store truck doing? All right, can I make this left turn? No issues with the streetcar tracks with these nice fat tires. All right, so we're gonna get another hill coming up, and I'm gonna leave it in the lower power mode. I think that was a foiled theft, maybe. There's a guy on one of these old-timey mechanical bicycles in front of me. I'm gonna let him have a little bit of a head start. Make sure there's no one behind me. Slow down just a little bit. Maybe we'll coast down the hill. I don't want to be on his heels. And it's worth noting I'm still showing a full battery, although we are just over 8 kilometers into this. All right, let's try this hill on just the lowest power mode this thing has to offer, Power Assist 1. And this will still probably outdo my other e-scooters. Can it maintain the 25 kilometers per hour going up? 5.6 volts. Oh, it is effortless. Yeah, there's a stupid amount of power on this thing. Blocked bike lanes, what else is new? I was about to use my horn for the first time, and that guy noticed me. We're now going north up Yonge Street. At the start of the video, I came south down this stretch as the midtown bike lanes are about to disappear. Locked in at 25 kilometers per hour. This feels like a good speed for these things for getting around. think when you really start going faster, you're gonna have to look at some more serious protective gear. I understand that car, why that driver's so far out, they can't see. Sometimes that's necessary. Let's bring it to a close right over the tracks here, and I think we're about to catch a train going by. There we go. Oop. Let's see here. We averaged 18.6 kilometers per hour, covering a distance of 9 kilometers, and that ride was 29 minutes. And there is the very impressive Gotrax GX3. Huge thanks to the folks at Gotrax for sending me this one. And this type of beefed up dual motor, dual suspension scooter is your thing. I don't think you can really go wrong with this one. My only real complaint is the weight and heft, but that kind of goes with the territory for scooters of this ilk. Anyways, let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership. Down in the description, I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.